Hi, I'm Michelle Allen. I'm an occupational therapist for Chesterfield County Public Schools. A lot of times we get referrals for students right now, especially after this pandemic, for kids that are just having weak hands and aren't interested in holding pencils and controlling crayons. And I just want to make this little video clip for you, for parents at home and for teachers at schools, of ways you can beef up your child's daily routines to work on those fine motor skills. A lot of teachers have learning stations like literacy, word workstations, and math bins that are easily modified to create more resistance and greater fine motor appeal. I will surprise you by telling you that a lot of the first place to start for fine motor work is actually by using big muscles. So if you can change the position that your child is doing work, you're actually helping them build their skills. So having them work on prone on elbows, where they're propped up on their elbows, and coloring is a good way to strengthen their arms for coloring. Taking a ball and having them walk their arms up the wall and down. To, like, you could write like words around a chalkboard and have them go to the sight word they're trying to learn, or a letter in their name, or to count in order. Another thing you can do is use vertical surface work. So instead of having your child color on the floor or at a table, tape it on the wall, and then they're working really hard to strengthen the foundational postural muscles that help them to build their fine motor skills. I think that might be a really fun way to use our sneeze shields in our classrooms, is to set those up and let children write with glass markers. All right, so when you're thinking of fine motor skills, you start with the shoulders and this trunk, and then you're also going to work on your forearm skills. So at home, you can have your children flip over pancakes, or you can take a cookie tray and you could put on words that they're learning to read or letters onto index cards and have them flip it over with a spatula. Or if you have a child that's working on learning their sight words, you could use tongs and you could have them pick it up and read it. He. Lock and key activities are another way to work on that forearm strength and stability. There's homemade products that you could look up on how to do, or you can purchase them online. For math bins and for just fun centers at home, if you get a tray out, you can work on using tongs to pick up items. These are rookie sticks, and they work on the same fingers that you use to control your pencil. And you can work on picking up and placing small items. You can even at home, you can have your kids use rookie sticks or bacon tongs, olive picker uppers, strawberry hullers, to eat their cereal or to eat popcorn. Or if you're at school, you can use a munchie ball. You take a tennis ball and you slit the inside, the side of it into a mouth, and you can feed Munchie while you're counting your math. You're counting objects for math. One thing that you can do to really enhance fine motor skills is to add resistance. So this is just a piece of styrofoam that came in an Amazon shopping crate. And these are pegs, but you don't have to go out and buy pegs. You could use golf tees or toothpicks. And you can just use your fingers to push in. You can make a design. You can make a pattern. If you have different colors, you could work on your patterning skills. Or you can use it, you could roll die and do a certain number and practice counting with some resistance. Many of our math bins have lots of sorting items. So there'll be a giant bin of different shapes and colors of buttons. So kids just pile them up into different piles to sort them out. But if we can, a way to add in a little more fine motor demand is to use something called a button train, which is just a lace with a button on the end. And you can use different size pieces of felt in different shapes, just like your teachers have at school. And you can decide, I'm going to sort by color, so I'm only going to look for browns. And I'm going to work my fingers, practice using my fine motor skills. Ooh, here's a different kind of brown. But kids could work together in their math centers at school or at home, and it's a nice busy task that you can fit into a Ziploc bag, and if you're at a doctor's office or a restaurant, this is a nice quiet activity that a kid can do to work on their fine motor skills. So all you have to do to make this is cut out some pieces of felt in different colors and in different shapes. And then it's no sew, you just fold and snip in the center to make a buttonhole. And then you take a ribbon, or you can even take a shoelace and put the shoelace through the buttonhole if you just don't want to sew at all. And then this button will slide right through the slit. And your child's going to be working on their fine motor skills and working on their math sense about sorting by category, size, shape, color. It's a good get ready for school and a good builder of number sense activity. One thing that students learn a lot about is money. At school, they learn to identify coins, or they count. And one thing that is a good idea is for fine motor skills with this is these used to contain slime from like Target, but they're kind of like a film canister from the old days. But if you have any container that has a plastic lid that you could just take a knife and stab a slit through it. This is a Tupperware container, like a margarine container, and it just has a slit in it. But this one is kind of cool because it's clear, but it doesn't have to be. But it's a way that you can push and add resistance to a task. So if I'm trying to tell my kids, put all the quarters in this one, all the pennies in this one, they can work their finger muscles by pushing against the resistant top. And I might start it for them, like I might put a nickel in one and a dime in one, and then they're matching each one. And it's just a really resistive fingertip resistance task. But you could do this even if your child wasn't at the coin level of, they're not at a level of identifying coins. You could do this with pennies or buttons or like bingo chips where kids are counting. Another, like those erasers that they sell at Target kind of fit through these too. They're a little thicker, so you really have to push. But it really strengthens the fingers, and it helps to give the children a sense of where their fingertips are for writing. It's a good like wake up activity before writing or coloring, just to give kids a sense of where their fingertips end. Whoops. So I hope this has been helpful for giving you ideas of ways to add some tools, add some resistance, and change the position of your activities so that you can really build the fine motor skills for our students.